Hi friends, Brother Peter here. Wednesday in Holy Week, the holiest week of the year. Thank you for accompanying me on this little retreat. I challenged myself on Palm Sunday to post one of these every day during Holy Week. So Wednesday in Holy Week is often referred to, or used to be referred to, as Spy Wednesday, because the readings are focused on the betrayal of Judas. So I want to read to you a little piece that I wrote around this. I just want to share this with you. Upon hearing the phrase, the Last Supper, most of us recall Leonardo da Vinci's version, one of the most frequently reproduced images in human history. The fresco appropriately adorns the wall of the dining room in the monastery of Santa Maria delle Grazie in Milan. In the painting, the men gathered at the table are excitedly gesturing, as if arguing. Da Vinci presents a snapshot of the moment of Jesus' disclosure that one of the 12 has betrayed him. The first blow in the Passion occurs not at the hands of the Sanhedrin or the Roman authorities, but is dealt from one of his beloved friends. Judas has agreed to lead the authorities to Jesus in exchange for 30 silver pieces. He later regrets having done so, returns the money, and overcome with despair, hangs himself. Don Primo Mazzolari was a northern Italian priest of the first part of the 20th century. In the last months of his life, on Holy Thursday evening, he preached a homily entitled Nostro Fratello Giuda, or Our Brother Judas. In his dramatic Italian baritone, Don Primo began, "My dear brothers and sisters, it is a scene of agony in the cenacle. It's dark outside and raining. In our church, which has become the cenacle, it is not rainy or dark, but there is a deep loneliness of hearts, the burden of which our Lord carries. There is a name which returns, a terrifying name, the name of Judas, the traitor." In the sermon, Don Primo challenges us to claim Judas as our own, not because we're so magnanimous, pure, and merciful, but because the sin of Judas' despair is common to all of us. A very shocking proposition in small-town Italy, 1958. For Don Primo, not only is Judas my brother, he and I are one. Just as a psychoanalyst might reveal to you that you are not simply a character in a dream, you are all the characters in your dream. In the archetypal pageant of Holy Week, you and I are present in every character. We judge, we condemn, we mock and strike him. We help to shoulder the cross and wipe the face of Jesus. You and I are his grieving friend and sorrowful mother. We anoint his feet. We betray him. It is we who nail him down, and we who claim his body and lay it to rest. And in our finest moments, our actions reveal to others that he is risen. At other times in life, we will be judged, condemned, consoled, tormented, challenged beyond reason to accept God's will for us. It is we who will fall under the weight of our burden, and we who will forgive. In the end, we also will face death, be wrapped in the love of Christ, and will be raised with him in the light of his Easter promise. Don Primo is considered one of the unsung theological trailblazers of Vatican II, laying out the radical possibility that Judas, you, and I are subject to the limitless, immeasurable mercy, forgiveness, and love of our Lord. The teaching of Primo Mazzolari and others like him resulted in Pope John XXIII's now historic proclamation at the beginning of the council to open the windows and let in the fresh air. At the request of Pope Francis, Primo Mazzolari is deservedly being considered for canonization. Pope Francis keeps a photograph on his desk of the capital of a medieval column in the Magdalene Basilica in Vézelay. There are two scenes carved into the stone. The first is of Judas hanging, a very gory and common depiction. The other is equally compelling for its tenderness. Jesus, the Good Shepherd, half smiling, carries Judas away on his shoulders. It is Judas who has become the 100th sheep. On Holy Thursday evening, Jesus insists on calling us friends. No longer do I call you servants, for the servant does not know what the master is doing. But I have called you friends, for all that I have heard from my Father, I have made known to you. And that's from John 15. In the words of Don Primo Mazzolari, forgive me if this evening that should have been one of tenderness, I have brought you such painful considerations. But I also love Judas, our brother Judas. I will pray for him again this evening, for I do not judge, I do not condemn. I should judge me, I should condemn myself. I cannot but think that even for Judas, the mercy of God, the embrace of charity, the friend who betrayed the Lord while kissing him, I cannot think that the word has not made its way into his poor heart. Perhaps at the last moment, Judas has heard that the Lord still loved him and received him as his own. Perhaps the first apostle who entered behind him with the two thieves. A procession that does not honor the Son of God as some may conceive it, but that demonstrates the greatness of his mercy. And now, before resuming Mass, let me think for a moment about the Judas I have within me, and the Judas that perhaps you have inside. And let me ask Jesus, Jesus who is in agony, Jesus who accepts us as we are, let me ask him as a paschal grace to call me friend. Easter is the word spoken to a poor Judas like me, told of the poor Judas like you. This is the joy, that Christ loves us, Christ forgives us, and Christ does not want us to despair. Even when we turn against him, even when we blaspheme him, even when we reject Christ at the last moment of our life, remember that for him, we will always be friends. Blessings to you all if you made it this far on Spy Wednesday. Thank you for accompanying me during Holy Week. Everybody's doing wonderfully. You're doing great with all the things that you're doing for yourself and others during Holy Week. Let's stay together and walk this journey together. And the drama unfolds. More will be revealed. Blessings to all and happy Easter.